going to record to the cloud, and then I'm going to live on Facebook. Oh, I've never done this before. In a group. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Just, it's thinking. Apologies for the delay. Not done it Facebook before, so anyway, we'll start because it can just think in the background. Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome to the Redox Talks. Oh, I'm so terribly sorry. I've got my introduction has disappeared. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so welcome to the Redox Talks. My name is Julie McDonald and I am a Gold Executive with ASEA. I'm very excited here to share this breakthrough with you that can change your life. ASEA products have really changed me because I had a chronic injury on my neck and doing a push-up challenge in the gym, and I spent the next 8 months trying every treatment that anybody recommended to try and resolve that issue. And it wasn't until I went to Sally, pain specialist, and she had recommended the Redox gel to me, and within 6 weeks, using a tube a week, I resolved that issue. So that was super exciting. Tonight, our special guest is Rhonda, who's going to share her story and her Redox experience with us, as long as she doesn't choke. I've got a glass of water. So before we get excited, I'd like to invite you to think about a few questions to get in touch with what you're looking for in life. Do you have a health challenge or know of someone with a health challenge that needs help? Would you like to reduce the visible signs of aging? Do you need more energy or be able to do what you love to do? Are you an athlete looking for a bit of an improved performance? Or maybe you're just looking for more time and money, freedom and a better lifestyle. Sorry, we've got Rhonda choking in the background. To really live well, we all need two basic things: a body that can do whatever we ask it to do, and enough money to ask it to do some really great things. So to have that body, you might be exercising, you might be thinking that you're eating right, you might be taking nutritional supplements, you might be doing everything that you think you can, or you might be just not doing enough or not doing anything at all. And frustratingly, no matter what you do, as we age, our cells are constantly breaking down and responding less effectively to all these strategies. Our cells naturally begin to break down after the age of 15, and we produce energy less efficiently, and we start repairing our cells a lot slower. If your cells could just be a little bit more efficient, your exercise, nutrition, supplementation, and everything else you could do could be a lot more effective. You could be healthier, longer, and with less effort. Several years ago, scientists made a groundbreaking discovery. They identified molecules natively produced inside our body that helps our cells repair and regenerate. Once discovered, years of research and development went into figuring out how to produce these molecules outside of the body so they could be used as a nutritional supplement. The result is a molecular technology that helps your cells work better. And when your cells work better, everything else works better. Your exercise and diets become more effective, more productive, nutritional supplementation works better, you feel better, and you look better. You can sleep better, and then you'll have a lot more energy. So hopefully Rhonda's going to join us again. Once we start getting into our story, you'll understand why Rhonda's probably just had a little bit of a coughing fit. She's drunk from one of our glasses, which is probably toxic. So welcome, Rhonda.
Hi.
Sorry, we've choked you already.
Right. Feels good now.
So tell us a little bit, coming a bit closer, we're going to get close and crazy here, we're old friends.
Yeah.
What was your life like before you started using the Redox products?
Debilitating. I couldn't go out. I had to give up work. I worked from home rather than going into the city anymore because smells, different things in the atmosphere, air conditioners, that sort of thing, would stop me from breathing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of your symptoms that you had before starting Redox.
So I had several different reactions to different things. I would get rashes, little red dots all over, psoriasis in some places. Then there was the diarrhea, vomiting, eyes would water all the time, not being able to breathe properly. So tap water does it to me.
Oh, and it's a filter on it too.
Just everyday things that people take for granted. Yeah. You know, I couldn't do any of it.
So you diagnosed as chronic allergies?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So I was on 100 milligrams a day of steroids.
Yep.
Just to get through each day. You know, and because it's also food related as well. So, and it's all natural products that I'm allergic to. So.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of the issues that you had before you started taking using the Redox.
The little ones?
Yeah, the little ones.
Yeah,
start the little ones first.
Okay, so when I first met you guys, I had problems with my hand from RSI, from way too much work, too many years of typing and using calculators, and it had got to the point where I couldn't even hold a pen. So Sasha put one of the products on my hand, and suddenly I could start to move it a little bit, and so that was the first real thing that I used. And then I also had nerve pain in my head from scarring from an accident that I had, and calcium had grown over and was pushing on a nerve, and so that made it difficult to sleep. And so rubbing it on my head where that nerve damage was, I was able to start sleeping at night and staying asleep. So they were two things that were really impacting pain, you know, sort of pain-wise. And then I also had a cyst from an ectopic pregnancy that I'd been living with for over 20 years. And it had grown on the scar tissue. So it would go up and down, you know, and sometimes it would pop and that sort of thing. But because of where it was, it also made for really painful periods. So, you know, that's all resolved basically.
Wow. And tell us about some of your big ones.
So the bigger ones was when I met you.
I wasn't the pain.
No.
Just want to be clear there.
when we met up again, I had somebody had suggested a different deodorant, and I'm very, you know, like they had told me to be very careful on using any new products or anything. So I only used this deodorant once on one side, and within about 4 or 5 hours, it had melted away all my skin. And I had been using a steroid cream on it. It had got to the point where there was just a slim part of the skin that had grown over the top. There were some pretty major holes and that sort of thing that had developed. And yeah, it's you know, I think it's 100% better. Some people still go, but to me, you know, there's now hair growing underneath my arm.
Yeah.
90% of it just looks like normal skin now.
Yeah.
You know,
that's so good.
Yeah.
And what else? There's more.
I had arthritis in my knee.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also had, you know, like over the years, cartilage damage to my meniscus, that sort of thing, and then all of that turned into arthritis. So I hadn't been, it'd been years since I'd been able to wear any high heels, walk easily up and down stairs or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, that's all. I've got high heels on tonight.
I know, we noticed. So were you able to try any other supplements or anything like that to help resolve any of the issues?
Nothing. So with my allergies, I couldn't have anything at all as a supplement. But it was also, I couldn't also have operations. I couldn't have stitches. My body wouldn't dissolve a stitch. It would form a skin around it, and or it would, cause a great big infection.
Oh, you had a bit of an issue with your nose when we met you too.
Yeah, so I had a bit of ASEA on my nose, and when we met, there was a big cyst sort of thing that had grown down my cheek, and I could hold that lump and show you the whole lump, and the inside of my nose was completely blocked. And
you couldn't have an operation because of your allergies?
No, because they were pretty certain that if they did a skin graft or anything like that, none of it would take.
Yeah.
So it was a slow growing BCC, and their hope was that over time there'd be the technology to be able to fix it without an operation. So, and I found it.
You found it?
Yeah.
So can you breathe out of your nose now?
I can breathe out of my nose completely.
That's amazing.
And it's down to, it's 2 years that I've been using it, and it's now down to about the size of a nail head.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
No pain across my cheek anymore or anything like that.
So tell us a little bit about, so you started using the gel with your hand, and then and you had a bit of a sore, you had a bit of a shoulder issue, you were using the gel on that.
Yep.
What was that next step like for you to then want to ingest the liquid with all your history of projectile vomiting with different foods and things like that? So what was that like for you?
It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It was with support from you and Sasha that, the encouragement and everything. I was really tolerating Renew well by that point.
Yeah.
I'd stuck with it, I probably detoxed a lot longer than normal people do. The salt and water taste I had for about 6 months.
Yeah.
But I was getting better. So, and it was the only thing that could ever help me. So, yeah. So then I thought, well, that had seemed to me. And so I thought, well, I can start trying it.
Yeah.
And I've never had an issue with it at all.
And what about and so how much liquid are you drinking currently?
I've upped it to 120 mils a day, but I do that 3 times a day. So that, because sometimes I find I can't sleep. So so I'm doing it in 3 steps instead of just 2.
Fantastic. And so tell us a little bit about what is life like now that you've been using so how long have you been using them for now?
The gel for 2 years.
Yeah.
And the liquid for about 8 months.
Yeah.
8 months to maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah. And so what's life like now?
Well, now if I have a reaction, I know that I can just drink the liquid. It takes away the reaction. So if I go, I can go out now and eat at restaurants and that sort of thing. I still am limited on what I eat and what I do, but if I get sick, I know that I can control it, and the pain level has reduced dramatically.
Yeah.
Because there was quite, some, depends on what I ate, but some of it could be extremely painful. So,
and was there any foods that were on the ban list before that you can now eat?
Yeah, I've started to introduce a few little bits and pieces. So I'm eating melons again. I am eating 2 bits of pumpkin once a fortnight. So I'm very controlled on introducing everything back again.
Yeah.
I eat cauliflower probably once a week now, and it'd probably all of those things. I eat potato, and I'm starting to be able to tolerate eating jacket potato more. I couldn't tolerate that at all before. So, there's just, you know, just baby steps.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's been a long road, but yeah, I'm starting to be able to, you know, eat different things. So,
was there ever any point that you thought you were mad? You know, like with you know, and what was that like for you? You know, like what was that? Did many people listen to what?
Well, you get different reactions from people, and you know, there's sometimes the embarrassment. You would go to a restaurant and the chef then wouldn't serve you.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah, and you'd be with a table full of people, and they just say, no, sorry, we can't take the chance of feeding you, you know, that sort of thing. So, so now I don't have to worry about that as much, and I don't have to go into detail as much, you know, with people. There's specific things that I can't have, like vinegar, that sort of thing. But I know the products now, and so I can say, you know, I can't have that, and just ensure that it doesn't come to the plate. So,
yeah, fantastic.
You know, so I don't have that embarrassment anymore. That was a very difficult thing that it stopped me from going out. You know, was people were then refusing to serve me. So yeah, now I can sit and I can enjoy a meal and not be scared that I'm going to hit the person opposite me.
It'd be horrible, wouldn't it? So what about
It's happened.
Did you have any side effects?
No.
That you didn't expect?
I'm
surprised.
Well, it's a whole thing. Rubbing it on the area where I had the scarring from the ectopic pregnancy. I noticed one day that I no longer had any, you know, stretch marks or anything. So I thought, I better start using it on the other side too, because it looked a bit odd. Yeah, there are all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
You know, that just little side bits. Like my hairline has dramatically come forward.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So you can see all little bits of white there. That's all brand new hair.
Oh, wow.
So where, like, I used to have like a widow's cap, that's all gone.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So, you know, basically my hairline used to be equal to my ear, and now it's an inch forward.
That's incredible. I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like this list, you know, when Rhonda emailed me this list of everything that had gone, that she'd gone through. Oh, what about this one? Tell us about, we get this text message from Rhonda one day.
Yeah, so I woke up one morning after I had started drinking the drink, and all of a sudden I noticed that half of my tongue was not swollen anymore. And my tongue had been swollen for so long that I had not anymore realised that it was swollen. And then I woke up one morning and it felt really weird. And then I looked in the mirror and half of my tongue had reduced to a normal size, you know, and that looked weird too.
Yeah, that did. She sent us photos of that. She's like, I'm like, what?
You know, but yeah, it was just amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And suddenly just wake up one day and realise that, you know, that part of my life is changing.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
So, there's a few other things that you've had. You've had an itch that you have not been able to, no one's been able to pinpoint what.
No, so I had biopsies on it was so bad that I had biopsies done, and the biopsies came back saying that it was an allergy. It was an allergic reaction.
All right.
And I haven't been able to ever work out what that's from. And but I just my husband rubs the Renew on it to begin with. So that itch has only been for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And then slowly got worse. Now, you know, like it's maybe once a week that we rub it on, and it just seems to hold it.
Yeah.
You know, and
One of the treatments you were having was having an impact on your sight a little bit.
Yeah, so I was having to take 50 milligrams of steroids morning and night because the sulphite allergy is in everything. It's in your dishwashing liquid, it's in hand soaps, washing powders, as well as all food. And so it didn't matter, even doing an elimination diet, I was still, all of these things impacting me. So they had put me on 50 milligrams twice a day to try and ease that. And but the downside of that was I started going blind, and I went to various specialists and everything with you know, thinking that I had glaucoma. I tested positive to glaucoma, and then they ended up sending me to a top specialist because nobody could accurately read the test results, because one side of it would say, yes, I've got glaucoma, and advanced glaucoma, but then the other side of a test would say, no, I didn't have it at all. So they ended up sending me to a top specialist, and he did a whole lot of other tests, and they came back negative for glaucoma. So we sat down, and then he said to me, well, what medication do you take? And I said, I take 50 milligrams twice a day of steroids. And he said, well, you're going to be blind in 3 months, you know, unless you stop that. So that just happened to be when you guys and I had afternoon tea. Yeah, a couple of weeks after. So.
And you still had to take those steroids though because of the allergies, right?
Yeah, but I was able to step back and, you know, like just rubbing it on my neck, they're new, rubbing it on my neck and my stomach, it just, my reactions were stepping back with it. And so now I haven't had a steroid at all for over 12 months. And my last prescription I didn't even get filled. So yeah, no more having to see the allergy specialist. He won't see me anymore because I'm no longer chronic.
Yeah.
And so it's
And how's the eyesight?
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
It's unreal, isn't it? You know, she's gone through so much. And until, I guess, you know, knowing Rhonda since you know, we were kids, you know, if I hadn't known her, it'd be hard to believe that someone could go through all of this, you know, and you know, like it goes on and it goes on, you know, and it's just sort of the infections she kept having, you know,
infection.
Yeah.
So what happened was because all of my organs are trying to filter out these things that they couldn't have. I had constant kidney infections to the point where I even had a stent. I would also have, the infections were both bacterial and fungal. So it got to the point where one of my urethra blocked completely. So I had to have a stent for about 9 months. But yeah, ever since I've been having the ASEA, I don't even know that I've got kidneys anymore. So I don't know if there's any damage left or if it's all been, you know, it just, I don't feel them anymore.
Well, the fact that the redox is antibacterial and antifungal, when you put 2 and 2 together there.
Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about what happened just before your birthday last year.
So just before, 3 days before my 50th, I discovered termites in the house, and so quickly had to get some termite treatment done, and didn't think, like I said to them, is it toxic? That sort of, no, won't affect anybody, won't affect the dog, won't affect anything. So they started at 9 o'clock in the morning, and by 1 o'clock in the afternoon I was at the doctor's with full-blown pneumonia, and they wanted to put me in hospital. So I talked them into giving me 24 hours. And in that 24 hours, I drank half a bottle of ASEA, and on the first day, and then probably 3/4 of a bottle the next. And I made my birthday party. I couldn't talk, but I made my birthday party.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It is, you know, miraculous, really, what it's done for you.
Yeah.
You know.
See, there's other things too, like my because I'm always having to overproduce white blood cells to like they gather around to fix where you're having the allergic reaction and that sort of thing. So over the time, my spleen has, you know, started enlarging, and it gets quite hard and quite painful at times. So now I just rub Renew on it, and within half an hour, sometimes I do it the 3 times, you know, in quick succession.
Yeah.
And it softens, and I don't feel it anymore. So so that's another one that, you know, helps.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. You know. And you had to use it on your puppy dog as well.
Yeah, when we had the termite treatment done, he came out in a really bad rash all over his stomach and everything, we couldn't touch him. He wouldn't, you know, so I had to get my husband to hold him down, and we rubbed the new on him. And we did that 3 times that night. Next morning, it was all gone. So he hasn't had a problem since. And I gave him a drink of ASEA as well, morning and night.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the rash back. So
that's so good.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yeah, thanks for
you know,
having me.
being so open to share this. I know that's big for you, and but it can help so many people by sharing this.
Yeah.
So we've got a few questions. How young is Rhonda, and at what age did her original problems occur?
Okay, so I'm 50, and I've had it all my life. The allergy. It just took until I was 42 for them to diagnose it, because there's only 1% of the population that have the allergy that I have. So it was very difficult for diagnosis to ever happen.
And what's your dosage now
Of
the liquid?
liquid, 120 mils a day.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And I still use Renew in all of the places that I've always used it.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's so amazing. And, you know, we were really excited when Rhonda said that she would share her testimony with us. And so it's been fantastic, and I really, really appreciate it. And it's been amazing.
Yeah, thank you for introducing me to it.
Oh, you're welcome. See, just open your mouth, tell someone, and whether they do or not, you know, that's up to them. But, you know, you can really make a massive impact. And if you're sitting on the fence wondering if this is for you, give it a go, because you just never know what can happen. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'm going to finish the recording. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Stop recording.